What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another hunting boot camp. So going off of last week's hunting boot camp where I went over all the basic identifying characteristics of dabbling ducks, I am doing the same for diving ducks this week. So let's get to it. Starting off with one of the most well-known diving duck species in North America. Probably the most sought after, I would say, too, the king can, the canvasback. So like I said, king can, bull can, those are just a couple of nicknames people call them. But these are a highly sought after waterfowl species. They were decimated quite a bit during the market hunting days because they're one of the best eating ducks out there. So probably the easiest identifying characteristic of a canvasback, both hen and drake, is going to be the big triangular bill shape. It's going to be black for both the hen and the drake. It really sticks out. They also have silver speculums. Speculums ain't going to change between the sexes. And they are very large ducks, one of the largest diver ducks out there. The hens have a light brown head and chest with a grayish body, and then the drakes are going to have that chestnut head, kind of fades to dark on the back end of it, and then they're going to have a black chest and rump and that white body. And I mentioned this before in previous videos, but the divers are going to be a lot less colorful than their dabbling counterparts. They're going to be more of a monochromatic color scheme. That's that black and gray and silver and white colored body and chest and everything. So canvasback's no different than that. Moving on, we'll go to the bluebills. We'll start with the greater scaup. So there's two different species of scaup in North America. They're called bluebills, both of them, because of their distinctive blue bills. But we'll start with the greater scaup. The greater scaup is the larger of the scaup. They have those blue bills like I just mentioned, and a rounded head, and the hen and drakes both have white speculums. So the hens on the greater scaup are going to be dark brown, and they're going to have a white little like oval right next to their bill. That's pretty much all there is to a hen scaup. The diver hens aren't going to be as mottled like the the dabbling ones. They're not going to look like a hen mallard or anything. They're just going to be kind of shaded brown. And then the drakes are going to have a dark green head. They're going to have a black chest and rump, white body, and a white and black striped back. That's pretty much what a greater scaup looks like. The lesser scaup is going to be smaller, obviously, and it's going to have a less rounded head. It's going to have that blue bill. That's why they're both called blue bills. Some people call them butterballs even. And they're going to have the white speculum as well. So the hens are going to look very similar to the greater scaup hens. They're going to be dark brown with that white oval near the bill. The size is going to help you distinguish between the two, as well as look at kind of how round the head is. If that makes any sense, that'll help you as well. The drake, they're going to have a purple head rather than that dark green like the greater scaup. They're going to have a black chest and rump, white body, and then that black and white striped back as well. Moving on, we'll get to the ringneck duck. So the ringneck duck, both the hen and the drake are going to have that silver speculum. A lot of the divers are going to have a white or silver speculum. It doesn't really change too much. There might be a little like black line on the bottom of part of it, or the coverts might be a little different colored as well, but it's going to be generally that white to light gray to silver colored speculum, and the ringneck is no different. So the hen, they're going to be similar to a hen redhead, and this is probably the toughest challenge to waterfowl ID. Diver hens are really tough to ID, but between a hen redhead and a hen ringneck, it's probably the toughest waterfowl ID test anyone can have. The redhead's going to be bigger. The ringneck hen's going to have an angular head. It's not going to be like as rounded. It's kind of more of a distinct point on the back end of it, and it's going to have a little pale around the face. The body's going to be light brown and tan and have a dark brown back, and then it has that light blue gray bill with like a white band right at the front and then the black tip. But the drakes, on the other hand, are really distinct, really easy to tell the difference. The drakes and the divers are going to be all easy, just like dabblers. They're going to be easy to tell the difference on. But the drakes have a dark purple head, faint brownish ring around the neck. That's where they get their name, ringneck duck. And then a black chest, rump, back, and a white body, really bright white body. And these things, they just come in and they like do all kinds of acrobatics. It's really cool watching them they'll be buzzing by super fast and just dump in. But they have a light blue-gray bill, a white band at the base right where the bill touches the face of the duck, and then again at the end of the bill, and then there will be a black tip right past that white band. And that's the ringneck duck. So I just mentioned it, and we'll get to that duck now. The redhead, so they also have a silver speculum just like the ringneck and a lot of other divers. The hens, as I just mentioned, are going to be similar to ringnecks, but they're going to be larger. They're going to have a light brown body, head, dark brown back, ring around the eye. That's what some people go by, is that there's like a little tan, light colored ring around the eye. And the ringnecks will even have this to an extent, but it's more pronounced on the redhead. So I'm not telling you to go by that, but that's what some people claim they go by. It's still really tough. Size is going to be the best judge, but if you don't have anything to compare it to, you know, it's going to be kind of hard to do that. Light blue-gray bill with a light gray band and black tip, just like the ringneck. So, you know, that's what makes it tough. These two are really hard to distinguish between the two. So one thing you can use to help identify a redhead versus ringneck, if you happen to shoot an old redhead hen, those start getting white streaks in their head plumage. That's one way to distinguish between the two, but otherwise it's tough, like I've said. The drakes, on the other hand, are really easy to identify. They have a cinnamon colored red head. That's where they get the name. A black chest and rump, gray body, blue-gray bill with a white band and black tip. So kind of similar looking to a canvasback. They don't have the pronounced bill shape. They've got a blue bill rather than a black one. So those were the main diving ducks of North America. There's some more out there, but those are the ones I'm going to cover. I'm also going to include these next three ducks. Technically, they're sea ducks. Some people call them divers. We're going to lump them in here because you do see them quite often in a lot of areas where there are divers as well. The first one is going to be the common goldeneye. So the common goldeneye gets its name from its bright gold eye, and they're going to have a white speculum, both sexes. These ducks, when they're flying over you, and even buffleheads to another extent, they make a distinct whistling sound with their flight patterns, and you can just hear it from a mile away. You know when a goldeneye buzzes over you, and not even close. They can be sky high, and you can still tell that that's a goldeneye from the way their wings whistle. But other than that, the hens are going to have a brown head, a grayish body, kind of a whitish neck band on it, with a blackish bill and yellow near the tip. That's what the hens look like. The drakes are going to have a dark green head with a white circular patch, a white chest and body, like bright white, a black rump and back, and then a black bill. And these ducks can kind of be tough to identify because them and buffleheads mature a lot slower. For the drakes anyways, they mature a lot slower than some other duck species. So you can shoot a drake goldeneye or a drake bufflehead and it'll look very similar to a hen of that species, especially if it's a first year. A second year, they'll get a little closer to looking like a drake, but it takes 3 or 4 years for them to reach full maturity and to get that full plumage that you see in pictures. So the other type of goldeneye is called a Barrow's goldeneye. They're going to look very, very similar to the common goldeneye. The only difference really that you need to be concerned with, I guess there's two. The first one is they're going to have a really steep angle from their bill up to their head. So it's going to be a lot steeper angle than the common goldeneye, which kind of is a slow curve. And they're also going to have a crescent shape, similar to a blue-winged teal crescent on the front right next to their bill, whereas the common goldeneye just has the white spot. But other than that, they're going to be very similar looking to the drakes and the hens of the common goldeneye. So last but definitely not least is the bufflehead. These are a really small diving sea duck, whatever you want to classify them as. They're a really pretty little duck as well. Both species are going to have a white speculum, and they actually get their name from the way their head kind of resembles that of a buffalo. So the hens are going to have a brownish head and neck, small white patch on the back of their head, and then a light brown to dark brown chest, body, and back. They're pretty monochromatic, just like most hens. And that's also how the immature drakes are going to look. They're going to be similar color to a hen. That little white mark on their head might be a little longer, and you might even see a little bit of iridescence coming through the brown and tan colors on their head. But other than that, they're going to be very similar to the hens. The drakes, on the other hand, these things stick out, especially on a sunny day. You can see them buzzing a foot off the water on any big lakes or rivers you might be hunting on, because they're just really bright white for the most part. So the head is going to be iridescent. It's going to have every color of the rainbow pretty much in it. It's going to have yellow and purple and pink and green and blue. It's just really cool color, and it depends on which way you're looking at it for which color you see. But it's going to have kind of a blackish head with that iridescence in it, and then it's going to have a big white patch on the back end of the head. The body's going to be really bright white, like I was just saying. It really sticks out. And then the back's going to be black, which would be their wings. And then they're going to have a light grayish blue bill. And that's the bufflehead. But these things are really cool looking, really pretty birds. But that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave me a thumbs up. Always helps me out. Drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts were, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already so you can stay up to date with the latest hunting boot camps. We have, I think, 5 of these left because dove season starts September 1st out here. About 5 weeks, 5 more of these hunting boot camps left for you guys. We're going to be shifting more to teal and dove stuff coming up in the next month. So if you want more teal tips, if you want some dove hunting tips, come back every Monday throughout the month of August. We'll get you some of those. And guys, if you want to know when a new video drops, make sure you hit that bell right beside the subscribe button on YouTube. And we will catch you out there, guys. See ya.